Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another podcast episode, guys. Today we got the Ballon d'Or. Today we got France football. Today we're going to talk about France football, the Ballon d'Or winner. We're going to talk about the rankings, like what I think, did they rank well? If not, what they should have ranked, and like how the order is just messed up and everything. We're going to talk about the Golden Boy Award, so that's also messed up award. We're going to talk about team of the year, which is also such a messed up system of how they announce like how they choose this, how they select the team of the year. We're gonna talk about Yashin Award. We're gonna talk about all these awards. Whether I'm gonna justify my answer, like what do I think about this. I'm gonna explain like why and stuff. So we're gonna do all of that. We're gonna look at we're gonna do a photo to end off the video like usual nowadays. And then I think we got some good games tomorrow as well. We're gonna do a little bit of a prediction on those as well, guys. Not really. It's not a season episode. It's just a France football. It's an award episode. We're gonna be looking at Ballon d'Or. We're gonna be looking at Yashin Award, Socrates Award. We're gonna be looking at the Jared Muller's Award. All of that type of awards that were announced yesterday during the Ballon d'Or ceremony. So guys, let's get right into it. Actually, no. Before we get into it, like usual, make sure you guys make sure you guys have the FIFA Flow podcast website saved somewhere. Now today's one was a bit of just a random episode. I said like, okay, wait, why is it Tuesday? So yeah, I had one on Monday. Today's one is a bit of just a different episode. Not a different episode, but like it was more of an unexpected episode. I said, oh, I have some free time, not really having homework a lot. So I decided to just come on and do an episode. That's why you might not see it on here. And it's not really a season episode, but like either way, I should be putting it on here. But it's just like a more like a random like surprise video that I'm going to be posting. Like I didn't really say it. But guys, let's get into it. Let's start off with the Ballon d'Or, guys. The Ballon d'Or going to, of course, the one and only Karim Benzema, guys. Karim the Dream. After 24 years, guys, 1998, France win the World Cup, and of course, that baller that year, the legend, Zizou, guys, Zinedine Zidane, of course, wins the Ballon d'Or. And this year, guys, the thing that made this Ballon d'Or better is not just it wasn't someone other than Messi and Ronaldo. It was just like Benzema had all the hard work, the passion. He was under the shadow. I mean, you can't really say under the shadow. He was a baller though, but sometimes like when was that season where he was just an absolute L? Like he was in Sunday League team, guys. So like he was absolute like mother. But then you can also say there's some scenarios where he was a baller as well, and he actually was like a good baller. And you can tell Zinedine Zidane believed in Benzema. When Zizou was the Madrid coach, you can tell that he believed in Zinedine Zidane, or he believed in Karim Benzema. And now the last Ballon d'Or winner, the last French Ballon d'Or winner, Zizou himself, who believed in Benzema when he was at Madrid, got the opportunity to give the Ballon d'Or, to hand the Ballon d'Or to the newest French football Ballon d'Or winner. So yeah, it was very, very nice to see. Honestly, this drip, at first I was like, what the heck is this drip? Honestly, this drip looks sick, man. The glasses look sick. Everything about it looks sick. I forgot like which rapper he was trying to like mimic, kind of. He went like off of a style of another rapper who was also at the ceremony. I forgot which one, but man, the drip looks sick. This guy, he's like banging goals on the pitch and off the pitch. This guy has the best drip of all. Like man, this guy's drip is crazy, man. Yeah, so Benzema winning the Ballon d'Or, I 100% agree with this. We're gonna take a look at the rankings after. Another congratulations to the women's Ballon d'Or, guys. I don't know what's her name, Alexis. Is it this one? Is this just the writer? What the heck is this? Yeah, this guy's the Ballon d'Or winner. The women's Ballon. Yeah, this guy here, Alexis something, Alexia something. Guys, this guy, not this guy. This woman, guys, she won a back-to-back Ballon d'Or, women's Ballon d'Or with Barcelona, guys. It just goes to show Barcelona, not just for the men's team, even the women's team. Man, the Barcelona women's team is one of the best women's teams out there. So yeah, it just goes to show, just as a Barcelona woman winning it as well, back-to-back as well, the first woman to win back-to-back women's Ballon d'Ors. It just shows that Barcelona and Real Madrid, both the men's and women's team, are just like Barcelona and Madrid in the whole football history are just they just take over the world. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, who's won 5 Ballon d'Ors with Real Madrid. Actually, no, I think one might have been with United. Actually, no, I think it was with Madrid. And then we had 7 Ballon d'Ors with Messi. We got like Di Stefano, Luka Modric, Benzema now. All these legends in the past. Both Madrid and Barcelona both have 14 of their players, like 14 players that they had won a Ballon d'Or under their club in the history. They have the most UCL titles in their league, in La Liga, and then they still go out and say, oh, Premier League is the best league in the world, when more teams, and when only 2 teams in La Liga combined have won more Champions League than like they have like more Champions League than any other leagues. And then or La Liga has more Champions League UCL winners, like UCL club winners, like the teams in the La Liga, all their UCL titles combined is greater than any other one. Same with their Ballon d'Ors, and they still say the Premier League is the best league in the world. Now I do understand it's competitive, but in Europe, man, like still, man, the UCL is to show, are you the best team in Europe? And when you are the best team in Europe, it means you're also in the best league. You could say it's like that. But yeah, congratulations to Alexia, the Barcelona women's Ballon d'Or winner, guys. Back-to-back Ballon d'Or winners. What an achievement. Just like that's crazy. Back-to-back Ballon d'Ors. And we've seen like the quadruple Ballon d'Or back-to-back with Lionel Messi. We've seen back-to-back with Messi again after a back-to-back Ronaldo. So it's just crazy. It is just a crazy fact that Ronaldo and Messi have taken over the Ballon d'Or history, guys. For the past 14 years or something like that, I think 14 years, Messi and Ronaldo have ranked top 3 in the Ballon d'Or. No matter if they get first or second, just top 3. So it's kind of sad to see, oh, now it's like now they're not in the top 3. Ronaldo got 20th. Messi didn't even get elected as a nominee. So it's just crazy to see that, guys. It's just, yeah, I guess you can kind of tell that, like, I know there's Benzema, so you can't really say like football is evolving to the next generation, but like there's these younger players who are also getting in here who have a higher chance now as well. You got like Vinicius Jr., Erling Haaland, Mbappe. So these guys are also trying to race for that spot now as well, because they're so talented. They're also racing for that spot as well. But guys, let's go ahead and look at the list of the Ballon d'Or final rankings, guys. So let's start off from the bottom. We got bottom all the way to first place, of course, Karim Benzema. But guys, let's start off from the bottom. We got at 25th place Darwin Núñez, guys. Darwin Núñez, yes, Darwin Núñez. At 23 years old, 70 million, guys, who signed for 100 million, way overpriced from Liverpool signings. Panic buy for Erling Haaland to City. He's ranked 25, the Uruguayan striker. Now, initially, when you look at this, everybody's gonna say, even I'm saying, like, man, what the heck is Darwin Brick Núñez, the brick striker? Darwin Brick Núñez, what is he doing in 25th place? This guy has been non-existent for Liverpool. But keep in mind, this is from last season, and to be fair, last season he did get like about 40 goals, I think. If we look at Darwin Núñez, I think he got like 40 goals in all competitions for Benfica. So you got to keep in mind, this Ballon d'Or is not for this season. This season, this guy has been non-existent for Liverpool. It's from last season. So we go to 2021-23 and we look at all competitions combined. This guy had 34 goals in 41 games and 4 assists. So almost 40 goal contributions in the same amount of games he had. So that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive, to say the least. And it's not just like this guy it's not just like these weren't the only things. This guy, like last season, if any of you watched that match against Liverpool Benfica, that is the reason why Jurgen Klopp signed Darwin Núñez, because that guy, any angle, this guy, he gets his foot on the ball, the ball goes in the back of the net. His finishing was superb. Maybe his positioning, especially now at Liverpool, not the best. I think last season he had a few offsides, which why like his record is not higher. But overall, this guy's finishing, Darwin Núñez, last season, Last season, I think he was amazing. Almost 40 goal contributions, 38 goal contributions in 41 games. So keep in mind, I think for him, for a personal level, for in the Liga NOS, and then showing up against that big against a team like Liverpool is just crazy. So I guess if you really wanted to, like, you could say there's players like there's other players that can be up here, like maybe Barella, maybe not Barella, but like I think there's some more Serie A players that can for sure be up here. You could I think it's fine. I think you gotta keep in mind this guy. This is based off of last season. So yes, right away when everyone looks at this, they're gonna say, "What is Darwin Burke Nunez doing here?" But last season, you gotta give it to him. He was 22 years old and he's doing that in the Liga NOS and then in the Champions League against Benfica or against Liverpool. Look at this, 6 goals in 10 games in the Champions League at 22, and like 3 of those goals were against Liverpool. So you gotta give it to him, man. You gotta give it to him. I think 25 is worth it. And Nkunku, guys, the 24-year-old, 80 million. This guy last season, man, back to back to back to back to back. Every month, this guy got Bundesliga Player of the Month. Now, I think that the reason why Chelsea are going to want to sign him, and I think the reason why they already like signed him something, because next season Nkunku's contract ends with RB Leipzig. I think one reason why Chelsea went straight onto him was because of last season. Now, to be fair, this season, like, yes, he's doing okay, but last season was like that was his prime season. Yeah, like especially at 23, he's still gonna go into his prime at like 28, 29 and stuff. But for at 23 years old, when you're doing that, I know this season he's still doing a lot, but like he's not having the start that he had last season. But he's still a good baller. I think last season maybe you can say I think, because to be fair, like you got players like Trent Alexander-Arnold. What is he doing at 22nd place? Yes, he's doing terrible this season, but even last season he was pretty bad. So I don't know how he's 22nd. Bernardo Silva 22nd as well. How is he below Trent? Like I know that it both says 22nd, but I think the reason why Trent is more up here is because he has more points or something like that. I don't know, the PR, man, the Liverpool PR. And then I guess, yeah, I'd 100% put Bernardo Silva over Foden for sure. And in Man City, we're in terms of Man City, Foden or Bernardo Silva has to go over Foden, and then both of them have to go over Trent Alexander-Arnold. I guess Harry Kane would be there, but I think a reason why Nkunku got placed so low, going back to the topic of Nkunku, is because there's so many people ahead of him who should have, like, what is Haller doing here, man? We'll get there eventually, but like that's what I'm saying is Nkunku he had a pretty crazy season, especially in the Bundesliga. But then like you got the reason why he's back down here at 25th is because of like there's so many of these failures who shouldn't even be here. It's so rigged, man. But yeah, Cancelo, guys, 28th. I think 2 seasons ago is when Man City made it to the final, he had a better season than he did last year. But don't get me wrong, last year I think he was one of the best fullbacks in the world last year as well. I think he had to be at least second. At least the minimum he could have been is third, and then you got second or the maximum he could have, the lowest ranking he could have been is third for best fullbacks in the world. Yet somehow he gets 25th here. So, and man, this guy, like, it's not just about, like, if we take a look at Cancelo, it's not just about the assists. What is this, man? João Cancelo. It's not just about the assists and stuff, man. It's about the way he played, man. This guy was crazy last season. Like, his dribbling on the ball. Like, I know he didn't get as many assists. Like, how many? What was his record last season? Go over here. All competitions. 52 goals, 3 games, and 10 assists. Now, that is a pretty bad. If we look at that like 2 seasons ago in all competitions, it's still pretty bad. But like as I said, okay. Stats wise, I was saying it's not all about the stats, about the assists and stuff. It's about the way he played, and this guy's movement going up at the pitch. And like the reason he may not have that many assists is because he passes it, and then they pass it again and make the assist. But that initial first pass is what he creates. Is he's creating that open space. Defensively, he's really good. Physically, he's good. As I said, on the ball, this guy's insane. For a fullback, he has one of the best dribblings for a fullback. In this like era, in this modern football, we're in this modern football society, or like this new modern generation. He is one of the best fullbacks, especially on the ball. He's one of the best fullbacks. Name me another fullback that's better on the ball. On the ball, maybe you can say like physically and like defensively, there's some better ones like Alphonso Davies, maybe Ferland Mendy. But on the ball, name me a better one. Maybe Ferland Mendy, second place. Davies, he's very, very fast. I think he's more of one of those guys who want to get the ball up the pitch rather than take it slow. I think that's just the whole way that the Bayern plays. They play fast. They don't really play slow like Man City and take the time to dribble. But I think it has to be Cancelo first and Ferland Mendy second for best dribblers, best fullback dribblers for sure. I think for sure. Guys, we got Rudiger next. I think that's pretty fair. I think his best season was in 2021-22 when they, or the year before, 2020/21 when Chelsea won the Champions League. That was his season. Last season, he still had a pretty decent season. He had a few banging shots from outside the box. So I think 25th is fine. Now, Mignon, guys. Mike Mignon. This guy here, this is one of the biggest robberies. Like, man, this guy, he carried AC Milan to the league title last season. Without Mike Mignon, AC Milan were screwed. And I know they didn't really do good in the Champions League either, but in Serie A, the Serie A is a really difficult league as well. And like, man, last season, like, this guy carried. Without Mignon's, like, AC Milan are like at the bottom of the league. But with Mignon, this guy carried, even with Theo Hernandez, like Tamori and stuff. But Mignon in that back, in the net, he was crazy last season. He was absolutely crazy. And the thing about, like, now here's one thing is, like, when people rate, like, when these Ballon d'Ors are being, I guess, like, adjusted, when they're ranking these Ballon d'Ors, when these critiques, these news people, like, I don't know, I think it's like these news people, these high critiques around in each country, they get to vote on the Ballon d'Or winner every year. I think the thing that, like, and it's not just for those critiques, I think it's for basically any player out, any football fan out there, is you're most likely gonna say, like, tell me what's better. Is scoring a goal better or saving a goal better? What is better? You're mostly going to be saying scoring the goal. And that's what has the more hype, is because that's the main objective of the game, is to score a goal. So when a goal is blocked, yes, you're happy if it's for your team. But at the same time, just like it's not a goal, so it's not as exciting. You get what I mean? So I think the thing that makes Mignon go so low in 25th is the fact that he's a keeper, 100%. And I think that goes for any keeper out there. It's the reason the keepers never win. Neuer had that one year. He carried Germany in 2014. He carried Germany, beat Argentina. He had one of his best seasons and stuff. And he got third in the Ballon d'Or ranking. I think Messi won it that year. He beat Messi, man. And somehow, I think Ronaldo won it that year, man. Ronaldo won it that year. He got knocked out by, like, Germany, I think. Something like that. I think, like, Ronaldo somehow won it in 2014 when Neuer carried one of Neuer's best seasons of all time. When he was in his prime, Neuer carried Germany, won the World Cup, beat Messi, beat Argentina, and somehow Cristiano Ronaldo still won the Ballon d'Or. So that's one thing here, is goalkeepers are always underseen. It's like when you score a goal, it's gonna be more excited. You're gonna be like more, like, I guess, on the media than if you block 12 shots. You get what I mean? So I think that's really, like, has a huge impact on it, a huge impact. And that's what's messed up. That is what's so messed up about the Ballon d'Or, is, like, no matter, like, if you're playing the defense, if you're playing the midfield, even if you're playing the midfield and you're scoring goals, an attacker is most likely, and it's not just most likely, it's highly likely than an attack. I think it's probably 85 or 90% of chances it goes to an attacker, and then, like, probably 8% it goes to, or maybe 85% to an attacker, 7% for a midfielder, another 7% for a defender, and then 2% for, or wait, 7 7. That's so 1% for a goalkeeper. That is the likelihood of That's how I would rank the percentage chances of what position you play in to win the Ballon d'Or. And that's what's so messed up about it. Is like it theoretically you can say, oh yes, like because these guys have different roles. It's not all about shooting goals. You can like really say like, oh, Courtois could have won the Ballon d'Or. This guy carried Real Madrid and they like didn't concede. They had like, I think almost 50% of the games that Courtois played last season was a clean sheet. So yes, you can say, oh, this guy carried. If they didn't have Courtois, they would have conceded so many goals and been knocked out way earlier, not won the Champions League. You could say that, and you could say Courtois carried them and he should be winning the Ballon d'Or. He did win the Yashin Award, but I'm just kind of, I know that's probably not possible because of Benzema, but I'm just like giving an example. It's because each position have a different role. That's why the Ballon d'Or makes no sense, because each player has a different role. So it shouldn't be an attacker all the time. A defender doesn't have the chance to score a goal. His main role is to defend. So you could say like, I think like a highly logical way to like solve this is have like, I guess, the best defender, best keeper, best midfielder in each position. Have a Ballon d'Or, not a Ballon d'Or, but like a best of in the defense, in the keeper, in the midfield, and in the attack. I think that's the more logical way to say it. If they do want to keep it like how the Ballon d'Or is right now, it has to be a much more, I guess, like not a simple, a much more logical way that all players have a chance. Because like as a keeper, when you're someone like Rudiger, man, like you're not gonna get into the top three that easily. I know Cannavaro won it back in like, when was it, 05 or something, 04, 03 or something like that, back in the 0 somethings, before 05 I think he won it, or maybe 06 or something, but I don't know when it was, near my birth year, 04, 03. 05 was, or no, I think 03 was Shevchenko. But anyways, like, yeah, Cannavaro won it once, and that's just because like back then football was different. Nowadays it's all about scoring goals. Are you good in the attack? Defense does not matter, and that's what's messed up about the Ballon d'Or. It should be an overall performance. Are you doing your job good? And maybe they can say like a block, a defend to game ratio. Maybe they should say that. Like, you know how there's a goal to game ratio, a goal to game ratio. There should be a defend slash block to game ratio, and then that's kind of like how goal to game ratio works as well. So it should be like whatever, like if there's a goal to game ratio, if they're saying like goal to game ratio, that's why you're winning the Ballon d'Or. Defenders don't have that as well. It should be a block to game ratio because that is their main role. So that's what I'm saying here. That's the same thing about Mignon. I think Kimmich is pretty fair. I think Kimmich, you could say he's highly, I wouldn't say overrated. I wouldn't say underrated, because sometimes he's a bit overrated. But I think it's pretty even. I think he's pretty even. Maybe a bit more higher up, like above Arnold for sure. Above Haller for sure, but we'll get there soon. Bernardo Silva, one of the biggest robberies. This guy this guy was better than Phil Foden last season, man. His Manchester City teammate Phil Foden, he was way better than Foden, yet somehow he got under. And I think, like, is Foden even a starter, man? Foden wasn't really a starter last season. This season, he's kind of becoming that starter. The thing about Foden, he's a very good agile dribbler. He's someone who's very versatile. He can play on the left. He can play central. In that cam position, he can play on the right, center forward maybe. So that's what's good about him. His dribbling, his assisting, is all of that is good. He has that capability to defend as well. He has that high work rate to drop back and defend. But last season, he still had some of that, but he wasn't really, even with having some of that, he wasn't as much of a starter as he is now. I think Bernardo Silva started more than him. He played on the left wing. Bernardo Silva that got that really good goal against Madrid after that KDB tackle. Bernardo Silva got that shot at like very near post, top bins on the left corner. So I think like it wasn't just that goal. His finishing was pretty good. His dribbling, all of that, he worked really well in the team, and somehow he still got like below Phil Foden. So I think that's a big robbery. Yeah, we just talked about Foden. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the biggest, man. This guy, this is why it's so rigged, man. How the heck did Trent get up here? Now you could be saying, oh, I'm justifying it. I'm saying it because of this season. But even last season, man, like Bernardo Silva last season was better than him. Like what the heck, man? Even Cancelo was better than Trent, man. Like what the heck, man? Like Trent, how the heck is Trent up here? And then Harry Kane. I guess you can put Harry Kane after. I think after December when Antonio Conte came in, Kane turned into a beast. Him and Son together up top were crazy. So yeah, I think as I said, most of these are you can justify you can justify it for sure. You can debate on it. Like I said, Darwin Núñez. First thing you think of is, oh, this guy's a brick wall this season for Liverpool. Darwin Brick Núñez from the Brick Academy. But now you can when you do think about it, this is based off of last season, and last season Darwin Núñez at Benfica had a pretty good season. So yeah, I did say those are my thoughts on the first page here, guys. 20th place. Now it's Ronaldo, man. This guy, there's a few things you can say here. So let's talk about it. There's no ways I'm gonna be saying this is Cristiano Ronaldo. He should be rated higher. I'm not saying that. Just because he's Ronaldo, I'm not rating him higher, man. Now okay, you could rate him higher, but I'm not rating him based off of because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. So I'm not rating him because of that. I'm gonna rate him because of his performance. And let's talk about his performance last season. It's this guy. He had some insane goals. He had some crucial goals, and especially in that Manchester United team. This guy carried United in the group stages of the UCL, although they still got knocked out in the round of 16 by Atletico de Madrid. He still carried them in the round of 16 and in the group stages especially. And like in the Premier League, he still had some essential, very key goals. But the only problem with the goals is it was too late. It was too late to get those goals. Most of his goals came at the end of the season and stuff. It was too late to get those goals. It wasn't early enough. On top of that, even when he did get those goals, you could say that, oh, this guy could have had way more goals if he had a better team behind him. If he had someone who would assist better, who would do some passing better, if his midfield could defend the ball and not lose and concede a goal, he can get the ball up and score. Because when you're conceding goals, it makes the team less it makes the attack less confidence, and you can clearly tell whenever United conceded, Ronaldo would be furious because it would make him less confident and he wouldn't score as much. So if the United had a better team, yes, Ronaldo could have had a better season and been higher up. But we're basing this off of what season did he actually have, and he scored goals, he scored crucial goals. But it was just too late. It didn't really mean anything. It was too late for those goals to happen. He carried United in the UCL, but that really wasn't enough either. He went back to the Europa League, still lost. And then on top of that, there's one player. What was I thinking of? I just had it in my head. But and then it's just the United's performance overall. Yes, it's an individual award, but you can't. Man, there's so much PR that goes into this, and that's why Trent is rated so much higher over Silva, over Cancelo, is because this Liverpool PR, this Liverpool power ranking is just too elite, man. It's too rigged, man. It's too rigged. But overall, this when you look at the players above him, did Luis Diaz actually do really good for Liverpool? Did he do good for Liverpool in the second half? You can argue. Yeah, I think anybody is doing better than Haller, man. I don't know what did Haller do last season. Let's take a look here. Sebastian Haller. Let's take a look. What type of season did this guy have at Ajax? Take a look. Nice. We can't even see his goals last season. Stats. All seasons. So we take a look at all seasons. 2021-22. 34 goals. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Now that I think about it, that is pretty good. What did he have? Oh my, 8 games, 11 goals. Holy, that is pretty good. I gotta be honest, that is pretty good. But still, man, I feel like I feel like did Van Dijk. I feel like Leao had a pretty better season. I think even Bernardo Silva had a better season than Haller. I think Haller is a bit too much. Oh, and this is the Eredivisie. Keep in mind. I guess the Champions League part the UCL parts, yes, I agree that like okay, he should be highly rated in the UCL rankings. But for like an overall, like that is it's the Eredivisie, man. It's the Eredivisie. It's not the freaking like Premier League or something. But yeah, as I said, Ronaldo. I think like did he do better than the? I think Luis Diaz still did better than him. You could say like Ronaldo would be higher if the players ahead of him were to come back. Yes, is a reason, but I think 20th is fair, man. I think 20th is fair. Luis Diaz, as I said, I think when he first joined in the first 2-3 months, in those like finals of the Caribou Cup and stuff, I think Luis Diaz was the essential player. I think later on in the season, when it came to the last game, when it came to the UCL final, he wasn't as elite as he was when he first came to the club, the first 2 months after December. So I think Luis Diaz, I think he could be a bit higher. I don't know how did Casemiro get there. I guess Casemiro had a pretty decent season. Vlahovic, I think, yeah, Vlahovic, I guess we'll leave him there. I mean, this season he's been having some really good free. I think for a personal level, Vlahovic is good, but for a PR ranking of Juventus, he should be way lower for a PR ranking for playing for Juventus. Casemiro for his last season in Madrid, I guess that's pretty even. I think he was one of the best midfielders at Madrid there for sure. I think Camavinga wasn't really that DM for them. Now they have Tchouaméni as that DM, but they didn't really have a DM. That's why for a DM player, Casemiro, I think, is fair. Van Dijk, now we're talking about this last season. I think everything Van Dijk last season was good. Do not say Van Dijk was bad because of that one last UCL game. That is when he turned into Van Brick Dijk. Van Flop. He was a flop. He flopped in the last game. So do not tell me Van Dijk was the worst player of all. If that all, name me one other bad name me like a few other bad games that season other than that UCL final. Because after that UCL final, Van Dijk flopped so bad. But other than that, I think he was a pretty decent. I think he was a really one of the best center backs, overall last season. Other than that Champions League final. But yeah, I think Van Dijk. You could argue, yeah, that's a pretty good ranking, like above Ronaldo and stuff. Rafael Leao, I think that's pretty decent as well. 22 years old. He was a baller last season. I think he's having a better start to the season this year. Killing it for AC Milan. His power shots are insane. His strikes are insane. His dribbling, his physicality. He's a really physical player, which makes him different from all these agile dribblers. And the thing about him is he's very physical and still has the ability to dribble. So as I said, his power shots, all his shooting, his strikes are insane. So I think Leao good. What the heck is Fabinho doing here? What does Fabinho do, man? Last season, I said it's not about the stats. I don't want to look at the stats, but Fabinho, man, what the heck is Fabinho doing? Even Bernardo Silva did better than Fabinho. Where is Rodri, man? Even Rodri had a really good season last year with Man City, and yet Fabinho, oh my, what am I saying? Sebastian Haller, I did say, guys, like, what is he doing here? Like, to be fair, his stats are pretty nuts. They are pretty crazy. For the Eredivisie in the Champions League, he was like popping off. But I mean, like, even with that, like, UCL tax. It's a UCL tax. He did good in the UCL. He has that UCL tax. Riyad Mahrez, I think that's pretty decent for Riyad Mahrez. But I think like Bernardo Silva should be near Riyad Mahrez. Like Bernardo Silva should be in this top 15 for sure. Heung-min Son. Now one thing is here. How does Heung-min Son split the golden boot? How does he get the same amount of goals as Mohamed Salah? And he gets the same amount of goals as Mohamed Salah with less penalties as well. And somehow is not in the top 5. Salah got 5th place and Son is 11th, getting the same amount of goals, less penalties. Had a pretty good end to the season. I think he was more of an end season player. So maybe that's why it's like Salah last season he was like killing it in the beginning, kind of like Haaland right now. It's Haaland, he's been killing it, but now he's kind of fallen off the past 2-3 games. And like we saw that the same with Salah last year. He got that hat trick at Old Trafford last season in the beginning of the season before December, and then he kind of fell off near the like. He was still a good player, but he kind of like he didn't have that hype that he had in the first 2 months. And same thing with Haaland. Is Haaland right now killing it? One of the best players, most goals right now in the world. like goal to game ratio wise, just goals in general. But now he's like the past 2-3 matches he kind of fell off. So it's same thing going here, and I think that's the reason. His son, yes, I think he did pretty decent after Antonio Conte came. I think he became a better player, and the only thing that I didn't get him up here is he became a better player towards the end of the season. And like Ronaldo, if you're scoring goals near the end of the season, it's too late. It's not gonna really change anything. So yeah, I think that's why. But still, man, he should be in the top 10 in my books. Now, guys, we get to the top 10. Erling Braut Haaland. Now, last season, what did this guy do, man? What did this guy do? 3 goals in 6 games in the UCL. Dortmund even make it out of the Champions League group stage. He got injured after that as well. So, like, what the heck, man? How is Haaland here? I think he had a pretty good season, though. Like, you gotta be fair. In the Bundesliga, he still had a pretty good season. But, let's just take a look here. 2021, 22 in all competitions. The 30 goals. So yeah, here's the main thing that made him like a more okay. So 3 games and 3 goals. That's pretty crazy. 20. Like here's the thing that makes Haaland Haaland is he scores like his goal to game ratio is almost 1. He for almost every game he scores 1 goal, and his assists are pretty good as well. But like in the Bundesliga, and that injury should make him be down so much more. That's why I do think that Son should be in 10th place. Haaland should be at 11th. I still highly rate Haaland from last season, but I do think that Son should be higher than Haaland. So yeah, that is Haaland, 9th place. Now Modric, man, that's the guy. Statistically, as I said, assists and stuff, like not the best. But his performance on the pitch to create a chance, maybe not assist them, but to be the one creating them, to be that base, to be the one where it starts from him. He passes it to Vinny, a cross, like a beautiful Trivela cross to Vinny, and then Vinny headers it to Benzema. Benzema getting a volley on it. Like that's all starts from Modric. He's one of the best box to box. His dribbling is really, really good. His passing, everything about Modric, his skills on the pitch are amazing. It's not about the assists and the goals that he gets. It's his skills, his high work rates to be able to go up and down the pitch, defend, to create a chance. His dribbling, that's what makes Modric. So I 100% agree. I 100% think that Modric should be higher. But then you look at, who's ahead of him? Vinny, Courtois, Mbappe, who, yes, I think Mbappe should stay in here. I think he's above Modric. We're going to do like a list sorting again. I think we're going to talk about each player for their positioning first, and then we're going to do my own list. But we got Courtois, Mbappe, Salah, Lewandowski, Kevin De Bruyne, and Sadio Mane, and then, of course, Karim Benzema. So, yes, I think that Modric had one of the best seasons ever. I think he's one of the crucial players in Real Madrid's midfield. Keep in mind, midfield, not overall. Benzema is overall. But in Madrid's midfield, I think he's essential. But then when you look at the players ahead of him, you could say, yes, I guess 9th is fair. Vinicius Jr. should be way higher for sure. Now, the thing is, are we basing it off of Vinicius had a good season are we comparing it between players? Or are we comparing it personally? Because if you're gonna say it personally, you can say Vinny had the biggest what's this word here? Not glory, the biggest glory, the biggest change ever. Like he went from being injured, he went from being like not really a starter to last season killing it in the UCL, in the La Liga, being one of the best skillers, best dribblers, best finishers for himself. So you can say he went from like a bench warmer, like someone who doesn't really start a lot, not being injured, not really scoring goals, to being one of the best attackers, wingers in the world. So if we're basing it off of that, then you could say Vinny has to be second. But if we're basing it off of like when you compare Vinny's stats with the way Vinny played last season compared to the way Mane played, I do think that Mane did better. But Vinicius Jr., I think he has to be above Salah for sure. I'd say above Lewandowski. What is Kevin De Bruyne doing there? So that's my thoughts there. Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in net. I think he should be higher for sure. This guy blocked all of Mohamed Salah's goals in the UCL final, yet somehow Salah is ahead of him. So, like, it's a goalkeeper tax. Goalkeeper tax. Now, Mbappe, guys, you can't hate on Mbappe, guys. This guy had a really good season. I think he had 28 goals, 9 assists in 34 games, I want to say. I think something like that. I might be one off. I think 34 games or something like that. Take a look here. 46, 39. I said it wrong. I said 34, so I was off by about 10. But I knew it was kind of, so this guy, I think Mbappe had a really good season. 35 games, 28 goals. So yeah, this was the one I was saying in the League 1. I'm League 1 merchant, and I know League 1 stats. I said 28 goals in like 35 games. But total, he had 46 goals, 39 games, 26. 35 goals, 20 in the 35 games in the League 1. 28 goals and 19 assists. In the Champions League, 8 games, 6 goals, and 6 assists. And you gotta keep in mind, these goals were insane, guys. He like broke that one v, like he broke Madrid's defense in the first leg of the Champions League group stage in the Champions League round of 16. He broke Courtois' like legs in that first game in the Parc des Princes. So you gotta keep in mind, like, that guy, he's insane. Mbappe, this guy, ici c'est Paris, as a PSG fan, I think he had a really good season last year. You can't just say, oh, like, this guy, like, oh, all he, like, he wants the ball to himself, his ego is huge. You can say that this season, but last season, you gotta be fair, man. You gotta be fair. The way he dribbled in against Madrid, the way he played, even in that second half, he played pretty good. He played really, really good, getting like 2-3 goals, 2 of them being offside and stuff. So you gotta give it to him. I'm gonna say that Mbappe deserves this top 10, but when we redo the top 5, we'll redo the top 5. I'm gonna change it and kind of say a new lineup here. Salah in 5th, as I said. Courtois, man, he blocked all of his shots, yet somehow Salah is ahead of him. Yet Salah is ahead of Courtois. But to be fair, at the start of the season, he was crucial. I think in the games, he was crucial. Yeah, definitely in the start of the season, he had a killer season. Lewandowski, yeah, I think Lewandowski always has to be in the top 5. One of the best strikers out there, and that's why he got a different award. We'll get there soon. We're going to talk about the main award of the ceremony yesterday first, which is the Ballon d'Or. KDB 3rd, Mane 2nd, and then, of course, Benzema 3rd. Guys, let's get into the rankings. I'm not going to really say oh, why is Mane 1st and stuff, or why is Mane 2nd. I think he's just had a really good season. Maybe not the best start, but I think in the second half of the season, he was one of the best players, one of the best strikers for sure. Let's talk about our top 5. At first place, we're gonna go Karim Benzema. No doubt, single-handedly beat Paris Saint-Germain in that second half. Hat-trick, single-handedly. Second place, I'm gonna give it to Vinicius Jr. I'm gonna give it to the dancer Bailar Vini, guys. Bailar Vini. I'm gonna give it to Vinicius Jr. Dance Vini, dance Vini. I'm gonna give it to Vinicius Jr. And I'm not saying because of this award is not based on how much have you improved. This is on what kind of season did you have. And like the thing is, like, Vinicius, it was first of all unexpected from him. And as I said, it's not like, oh, he went from a injured player and unexpectedly he went insane. I'm not saying it because of that. It's because of the way he played last season compared to other players like KDB, Salah, Courtois, Modric and stuff. Vinicius Jr. I'm gonna put at 2nd place. His dribbling, he literally ended what's his name, Fernandinho's career when in that game against Man City. I think his dribbling is insane, and we talked about this 2-3 episodes ago. Is nowadays football is about, are you an effective player? And even if you do dribble, not as much like dribbling in the back in the old days with like R9, Maradona, like Ronaldinho. It's not as much dribbling, but even if you do dribbling nowadays, are you using effective skills like a dummy like that one against Fernandinho? It's like that. That's an effective skill. So like step overs. He does all these step overs, these fake shots and stuff. And then like his passing, his finishing was improved a lot. And yeah, as I said, it's not about improvement. Otherwise, you can say, oh, like maybe like Holland, he should be one of the most improved players last season. It's not about improvement, but like compared to all the other players who are like in this top 10, I think he had one of the best finishing like out there. His assisting was good, like his ability to like play with the team. That's what is most important as well. That's why I think Vinicius Jr. is second place. Third place, we're gonna put Sadio Mane. I think Sadio Mane deserves third place to, I guess, to be there to be the face of AFCON, to be the face that he won the AFCON last year, to be the face of Africa, the football face of Africa. You could say it's Salah as well, but I think Mane last season had a much better season. His finishing, especially in that second half of the season, in those finals, in that UCL final, I think Sadio Mane had a better play style than Salah. I think Salah could have done way more. Ferland Mendy just pocketed Salah. I think Mane had like more of a bigger, I guess, role in that UCL final. Like Salah did have a few opportunities as well, but I think Mane was just positioned better. I think Salah could have made some better dribbles and stuff. So I think Mane third. I think for a personal level, as I said, Mane one of the best finishers, if not the best finisher last season after Benzema and Lewandowski. But as a whole, his dribbling, he can play wide, he can play in the central. He was one of the key attackers, one of the best strikers. And I think the thing with Mane is after Luis Diaz came in, it gave the chance for Liverpool to run Mane centrally, Luis Diaz on the left, and Salah on the right. And that's where Mane, that's why I said in the second half he became more of a like a better player, is because he got to play more centrally, get those assists from the center, and also be able, like, with his finishing, with his ability to know when to shoot, when his like ability to shoot to like wherever he wants to, is really really good. This guy, if he gets the ball in the box, even outside the box, he's gonna go for that shot and he's gonna get it in. So Mane third place. Fourth place, I think we'll keep it at Lewandowski. I think we're going to keep Lewandowski there. He had a pretty good season for himself at Bayern. Now you could say, oh, it's the Bundesliga. And like I think another reason why he can't be higher as well, you can't put Mane second and Lewandowski third, is because like what is it? He plays in the Bundesliga. They got knocked out by Villarreal. Villarreal passion, man. And Villarreal almost beat Liverpool as well. So I think that's a huge reason. Knocked out by Villarreal is the Farmers League tax, Bundesliga. So I think those are the reasons why I for himself he still had a good season. Really, he had a huge amount of goals. And then in fifth place, guys, I think we're gonna put Mbappe. We're gonna put Mbappe. You guys can't go out and say, oh, this guy did nothing last season. He got knocked out of the Euros last year, missed a penalty, did nothing with France to win a national award. But for personal, this guy's dribbling, his skills in that UCL against Madrid. I know they still lost, but he was that man. He was the guy who carried PSG. He was the one who carried us and like had the potential. He was the one. When Mbappe and when Messi and Neymar were sleeping in that UCL game, Mbappe was the one doing all the work. He broke the Madrid's backline to score that goal in the first leg. Broke Courtois' leg with that step over, that offside step over, assisted by Neymar. That other goal assisted by Nunes Mensch, who is also offside. Unfortunately, I think Mbappe carried us in that UCL. He had a beautiful performance in the league, and you go out and say, oh, it's a Farmers League and stuff, but still, I think like it's not just like it's the League on, it's the way he got those goals. And I think if he does this, if he uses the same method, if he uses the same effectiveness in another league, he's gonna do the same thing. So I think Mbappe fifth. I think Salah sixth. Oh, but Courtois, we can't put. I think we'll put Courtois sixth, Salah seventh. I think that's what we'll do. Vinicius, yeah, I think that's pretty even. But yeah, overall, yeah, I think some of these ratings are even. As I said, Vinicius could be higher and stuff. I said Benzema first, Vinny second, Mane third, Lewandowski fourth, Mbappe fifth, Courtois sixth, I think Salah seventh, Modric eighth. Oh no, but we have KDB. I think we'll put KDB eighth. or no, KDB over Salah though, man. KDB over Salah. I think we'll put KDB 7th, Salah 8th, Modric 9th, and then I think at 10th we'll put Son. I think at 10th Son over Holland. I know he was injured last season as well. Overall, congratulations to Benzema. Congratulations to all the nominees. It's still a huge thing to be in the top 3, to be in the top 10 as well. To be nominated is huge. So yeah, congratulations. Those are just my thoughts, guys. Let's get into the Golden Boy. We also got the Yashin Award and 2 more awards. Then ended off with a photo. Golden Boy, guys, it's for the U21. I think it's 21 and under. The difference with this award and the Ballon d'Or is you can only win it once. So Pedri won it last year. He was 19 years old. He won it. This year, Pedri cannot win it. You could say, I think not just you could say, I think you have to say Pedri was the best youngster under 21 years old to win the award. But since he already won it last year, it couldn't really go to him again. So Pedri, he won it last year. He was also the one to hand it out again this year because he won it last year and stuff. But guys, yeah, this award is only given to people if you're 21 and under, and the reason why it's given to the people under 21 and under, and the only reason you can win it like once is because like you're only under 21 for a limited amount of times. But for a football, if you want to be if you want to be the best footballer of all time every season, like Benzema, then like that could be at any age. You can do that. But if you want to be like if you want to be a Copa Award, a Golden Boy, to be the under 21, you can only do that like you're only 21 for a while. But for history, to win that Ballon d'Or, you can win that at any age. So yeah, that's why I guess 21 makes sense. Like you can only win it once under 21. Florian Wirtz, I think, yeah, he had a pretty good season. Same with Karim Adeyemi, both of them in the Bundesliga. I think they had a pretty good season. You could say like I think Guardiola could be a bit down. I think Florian Wirtz. I think Adeyemi could be 10th. I'd put I think Florian Wirtz 9th. I think Florian Wirtz last season had a pretty good season with what's his name, Leverkusen. He was a pretty good cam. He had some really good shots as well. His finishing, his dribbling, all of that was perfect last season. I think it was better than Karim Adeyemi. The fact that Bukayo Saka is only 8th, I think what I do here is now you can say Guardiola goes to 8th, Gravenberch 6th. I think Gravenberch stays there, and then Gravenberch would be 7th, and then I think Bukayo Saka, man, the fact that he's at 8th place, he should be near the top 5 at 6th place, man. Bukayo Saka last season, this season he's also having a crazy season, but like, man, it's his last year. I think he should be highly rated higher. Last season he had one of his best performances. Not with Arsenal last season, Arsenal not really doing the best, but like you still gotta give it to him, man. He had a really good season last year. Then we go here. Nunmensch, PSG fan here. I think he had a really good season, one of the best seasons. Now, yeah, we got Jude Bellingham, Jamal Musiala, Camavinga, and then Gavi winning it, guys. The 18-year-old Pedri, Pedri's teammate, who Pedri won it last year, handed it to like him and R9, Ronaldo Nazario, announced it together at the Ballon d'Or ceremony that Gavi won. So it's kind of seeing like all these two, like not brothers, but I guess like they're kind of brothers, they're bros and stuff. Like they're together, and then Pedri won it last year, plays for Barcelona and Spain, and gives it to his young brother, or I guess young like bro, his young Barcelona teammate and Spanish teammate, 18-year-old Gavi, guys. But I mean, man, what did Gavi do last season? I can't really say he did much for Barcelona. He was still pretty good for Barcelona. On a club level, Gavi should not have won. And I think the thing that makes Gavi win is, yes, he did have some moments where he did good on a club level. But I think the thing that made him win like over these other players is because of his nationality. Or not because of his nationality, it's because of his national performance. I think last year he had a pretty good national performance with Spain in the Nations League. I think that's a huge reason. But even with that, man, like Jude Bellingham had such a better season, man. I think I'd have to put Jude Bellingham first. Um, yeah, Jude Bellingham first. I think Kamavinga, yes, he was a kind of a bench warmer. I think he was mainly like subbed on most of the time last season. And yes, he didn't really have he didn't play for the national team, but he still had like a really good. Even when he got subbed on, he was a crucial player. So I think Kamavinga and Musiala should both be tied at second. Then I think I'd put Gavi. I think this is how to do it. Is Jude Bellingham first. Jude Bellingham had a crazy season last year, and this year he's having an even better one. But last year, man, Jude Bellingham compared to Gavi had a way better season. So I put Jude Bellingham first. I'd tie Jamal Musiala and Camavinga at second, and then I'd also tie yet again Gavi and Pedri at Gavi and Menj at fourth, and then put Bukayo Saka at fifth. I think that's how I do it. It's like 100%. That's how I do it. Jude Bellingham last season, the best box to box, defensive best box to box, young midfielder ever. Now Camavinga's a box to box. But Jude Bellingham had such a better season than Kamavinga, such a better season than Gavi as well. Benj had he was surprising to me, coming on a loan from Sporting, from the Liga NOS, playing for us. He became a starter as well. Surprisingly, 20-year-old Portugal left back Benj became a starter for us. This guy, one of my favorite defenders, one of my favorite players in Paris Saint-Germain for our team. He's one of my favorite players. As I said, I think Jude Bellingham had the best season out of these fives. As I said, Gavi only won it because of national teams. Yes, he had some moments in club level. I think on a club level performance, Jude Bellingham first, Musiala and Camavinga second, Gavi Menj third, or maybe Gavi first, or Jude Bellingham first, Jamal Musiala, Edward Camavinga second, Menj third, Gavi fourth, and Saka fifth for club level. But because of the national impact, Gavi went up to first, I guess. Again, for national impact, Gavi went up. But yeah, this award is kind of rigged, man. What the heck? Another rigged award is the team of the year. Somehow Man City won team of the year, and I know it's because of they had more nominees since like they had a KDB, who they have like Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, and I said KDB and stuff. Since they had all of those, Ederson and stuff, I guess like, yes, that makes sense. Like, oh, you have the most Ballon d'Or nominees, but man, like it's like team of the year. Who cares if your players are good? Did you do good as a team? Because like that's the thing with Madrid is like, oh, some of their players were off, but like they still like not even some of their players were off. The thing with Madrid is all of their players were on form. They were killing it last season. They weren't even like they all of them together cooperated really well as a team. Real Madrid were crazy. So I think the team of the year for France football should be based on how does the team perform. Somehow they got ranked. Somehow Man City got first, Liverpool second, and Madrid third. Like what the heck? The max Real Madrid could be is second, man. They knocked out City. They knocked out the top three of the Prem and Paris Saint-Germain to win the Ballon, to win the Champions League, and they get third best team of the year. Like who cares if it's about how many nominees you have? It should be about like how does the team play. But here, guys, we got goalkeeper rating or goalkeeper the Yashin Trophy. 10th place Hugo Lloris. In 9th place we got Bonu. 8th place, yeah, I think Oblak kind of fell off. I think 2 seasons ago, even last year, 2 seasons ago, Jan Oblak was really good that year that Atletico Madrid won the La Liga. I think you can argue that Bonu could be under Lloris, but I mean, to be fair, Villarreal he plays for Sevilla, I think. I think he plays for Sevilla. That's Rulli, who's the Rulli. So yeah, I think Lloris you could say Lloris. Yeah, I think Lloris would be above Bonu. I think maybe both of them are 9th or something. Jan Oblak, I agree with 8th. Manuel Neuer Trapp carried Frankfurt to the final of they carried him and they won the Europa League final. So yeah, I guess Trapp there. Neuer, I guess Neuer because of how good these the goalkeepers ahead of him were. Yes, I guess you can say Neuer. at 7th. But for a personal level, Neuer could be higher. I think Neuer had a really good season last season, but because of the players ahead of him, I guess I'll agree with 7th. Now here's the thing, back to Mignon. I don't know how did Mignon, and Edouard Mendy wasn't even good last year, man. He was good the year before when Chelsea won the UCL. What the heck, man? So yeah, I think Mignon has to be 3rd place. Somehow Ederson is there as well. I think I'd put for Edouard Mendy at 4th. I think I'd put Edouard Mendy 4th, Trapp at 5th, and then like I then put what's his name? Neuer at 6th. But yeah, Edouard Mendy, like man, Mignon last season carried AC Milan. Chelsea did nothing. I think Ederson and Mignon would be tied at 3rd. Alisson Becker, yeah, I think Alisson Becker did better in the Premier League out of these 3 keepers here. And Courtois, man, brick wall. This guy carried Madrid to the UCL final, carried them for the win, blocked all of Salah's goals and stuff. He got like, I think he got man of the match. He got man of the tournament, or not, I think Benzema got man of the tournament. But he got man of the match in that UCL final. Courtois, brick wall. So, yeah, as I said, Mignon has to be 3rd. Out of these 3 keepers, I agree, Alisson 2nd. But Mignon should be rated higher, man. Like, what the heck, man? Yeah, guys, we got the Gerd Muller Award. This is for the best striker of the year. I have to agree. This guy, Robert Lewandowski, best striker of all last year. Then I'd have to say Benzema as a pure striker. Benzema's more of that false 9 type player. As a pure striker, I think you have to give it to Lewandowski. Then Benzema, then Mane, or you can say then Mane, then Benzema. But yeah, I think Lewandowski, he deserves it, man. This guy's a pure striker. He deserves it. Robbed of the Ballon d'Or in 2020. For all you fans out there, do not say, oh, robbed of 2021 Ballon d'Or. Messi deserved it in 2021. Messi deserved it last year. Lewandowski deserved it in 2020, the year before. But yeah, Gerd Muller Award, but for the best striker of the year. RIP Gerd Muller, who unfortunately passed away just a few months ago, I think, this year. RIP. What a great German striker he was. A legend at Bayern. And now yet another Bayern legend wins it for him. And then we got the Socrates Award, or should we say Dr. Socrates. Yes, Socrates, the Brazilian the Brazilian footballer. I think he won a Ballon d'Or as well. He also won a World Cup, I believe. He also had he somehow had a doctorate, a doctor's degree. So Dr. Socrates. This is for footballers who are most socially like interactive. And Mane, man, one of the most respected players out there. He builds houses, builds schools, supplies Senegal, not just Senegal, supplies Africa with many like important stuff like food, like with a home, with like with supplies, with the clothes, with the schools, with like all these water and stuff. So Mane, man, one of the most respected players who gives back to the world. That's why the Socrates Award was made, and I think Socrates, he passed just recently as well. This award was made for him because he was a doctor and stuff, so the best socially interactive one. Sadio Mane, the best socially interactive to give back to the community. 100% agree with this. Very respected award. Guys, that's going to end off the episode. We're going to end it with a fuddle as well. Let's just take a prediction here. I think tomorrow we got United Spurs. That should be good. I do think that Spurs will win here. I really don't know how United will play. I think United will give Spurs a tough time, but I do think Spurs will win. I do hope though. I do think Spurs will win, but I also hope that United win so Arsenal get a higher difference. Unfortunately, Arsenal Man City got postponed. Liverpool West Ham, that should be a pretty good game as well. And then I think PSV Arsenal, that should be a good game. Barcelona Villarreal, yeah, that's also going to be good. So we got some pretty good games the next 2 days. Next episode will probably be next Monday, I say, or next Sunday after the weekend games. Chelsea United, City Brighton, Madrid Sevilla, Fiorentina Inter, that should be good. I think there's a good Roma game as well. Yeah, Roma Napoli, that's going to be really good. Serie A Passion, the Serie A Passion. So next episode will probably be next Sunday or Monday. We're gonna talk about all the games after today, guys. So that is that. Let's end it off with a fuddle, guys. And since we're talking about all these awards, the Ballon d'Ors, guys, let's go ahead, start off. Let's do like our first 8 with Ballon, with these award winners. So it's not, let's try Mane now. It can't be Lewandowski who won the Gerd Muller award because he's not in the La Liga. It's not in the Bundesliga. Let's go with Salah. I guess Salah had a really good season last year as well. Not there. Pedri winning the Copa Award, Youngster Award. Or not Pedri, Gavi. Let's go here. Okay, not in the big 4. We could try Serie A. I think we're gonna go with a bit of I think Leia, or let's go with Mignon, guys. Mike Mignon. I think he had a really good season, one of the best players. So it is in the Serie A. Not French and not AC Milan. So let's go with Barella. It cannot be Tonali. Okay, this is pretty interesting. Can't be it cannot be Portugal, or cannot be Leao because he plays for Milan. We could try Zielinski, or let's try this guy here, the GOAT. Not Napoli. Can't be Zielinski. Delafeu. I know, but he's not Spanish either. What the heck, man? Could this be? Can't be Skriniar because he plays for Inter. Damn, my ball knowledge is so bad, guys. Ball knowledge is very bad. Dybala? What the heck, man? I'm trying to think, like, who could, what team could it be from? Utevezi? Okay, let's go to Juventus. We do Bremer, Brazilian Juventus. It is Juventus. Not a center forward, not left mid, not right wing, not center mid. Vlahovic. It has to be Vlahovic. That's the only nation we haven't used. What the heck, man? It's not Vlahovic. Chiesa, Di Maria. And who do they have that's none of these nations? Szczesny. Wait, is it a keeper? Did we already? Oh no, it's not a keeper. We already guessed Mignon. Can't be Szczesny, guys. Who the heck can this be, man? What in the world? Quadrado, yes. Finally, Quadrado. I was thinking it has to be none of the positions and the teams the countries, the nations we use. The only other nation I can think of in this team, other than Vlahovic and stuff, had to be Quadrado. So yes, guys, we finally got it with 1 attempt remaining. Guys, that's gonna end off the episode. We talked about the Ballon d'Or, guys. All the Ballon d'Or awards today and my opinions. If you guys enjoyed the episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Once again, congratulations to both the women's Ballon d'Or, back-to-back Ballon d'Or winner, and both Karim Benzema making history. This is finally one of the best deserved Ballon d'Ors. You could say some of Messi and Ronaldo's Ballon d'Ors kind of undeserved. Neuer deserved a Ballon d'Or. VVD deserved one. Ribéry, Thierry Henry. But yeah, guys, one of the most deserved Ballon d'Ors ever. The ranking wise for the rest of them could be a bit debatable, very rigged and stuff. So that part could be a bit debatable, but yeah, guys, overall we gave my opinion. I gave my opinion today, guys. Next episode is probably gonna be next Sunday or Monday. We're gonna talk about all the games from here until then. For now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. If you guys enjoyed, yeah, for now, stay positive, stay happy, stay flow, and I'll see you later. Peace.
PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti. Tu te fais remarquer quand tu quittes la tête. T'es bon qu'à rester dans ta cité. Moi poteau, je quitte la Hesse. J'ai charbonné comme un fou, comme un dingue. Toi tu portes l'œil du soir au matin. Quand je vois la misère des gens, ça m'atteint. Car j'ai grandi dans la Hesse. Jet ski, putain, quelle vie, c'est le butin. Jet ski, putain, quelle vie. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Arrivé à Miami, on n'est pas là pour faire un Miami. Arrivé à Miami, on n'est pas là pour faire un Miami. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Serre-moi un la caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Oh toi tu veux des nanas mais tu n'as pas les épaules. J'ai dit toi tu veux des nanas mais tu n'as pas les épaules. De chier emballé, ça suffit pas. De voyage dans l'année, ça suffit pas. Christian et Giuseppe, ça suffit pas. Non, non, ça suffit pas. Jet ski, putain, quelle vie, c'est le butin. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son dans la caisse. Arrivé à Miami, on n'est pas là pour faire un Miami. Arrivé à Miami, on n'est pas là pour faire un Miami. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti comme Benzé. PGG, à fond dans la Bugatti. Serre-moi un caisse, monte le son.